Hi, I'm Bran, and I love Hallmark Christmas movies.
I'm Brian, and I like Hallmark Christmas movies.
I'm Dan, and I despise Hallmark Christmas movies, and this is the Deck the
Hallmark
podcast.
Deck the Hallmark, it's his podcast.
Brandon and friends host this podcast.
We hope you like this jolly podcast.
Ba, ba, bum, bum. Hello, everybody.
Hello.
Did you miss us? Did you?
I don't
Did
know
you
how.
miss us?
There was an episode yesterday.
Well, Brian wasn't there.
I wasn't there.
That's
I was
right,
surely
that's true.
missed.
That's
Yeah,
the
yeah.
first day without an episode with Brian in like 6 in a row or something.
Yeah,
Right?
in 7 straight days.
Yeah.
Wow.
Thanksgiving week will do that to you.
It will do it to you. Guys, what if I told you this is the start of
This is the beginning of the end.
It's the beginning of the end.
Oh, it
is
is.
what I was gonna say.
That's one way to say
Only
it.
That's right.
3 more full
Yeah,
weeks.
12 movies.
Wow.
This is it.
What do you think? Hey, Brian, how are
Yeah.
you feeling, buddy? This is
How
your
you
first
feeling?
time through the juggernaut.
Yeah. Thanksgiving week was a lot, but I feel like I've recovered fully. I'm ready to go. So 3 weeks doesn't seem like enough.
You want more.
I could take more. Yeah.
Well,
I could do more.
I was working on the January schedule.
Ooh, I forgot how we have
and,
January coming.
Yeah, we do
January's
this
coming.
year round.
January's coming.
And the Deckies are coming. January
Oh.
summer series.
Yes.
Yeah,
The Deckies are coming.
23.
Deckies are coming.
Deckies are coming. But the thing that I was struck by is having to write down 3 consecutive weeks of Wedding Veil. Movies.
Oh no, man. Dude, that stings.
Yeah.
3 in a row.
You get a break. You get the first week of the year, New Year's Day. We get a standard Winter Boy.
There's a Winter Boy. And then it's just Wedding Veil
I
movies?
think, yeah.
Wow.
And then
So
there's
there's
and then there's another
Winterfest?
winter. It's New Year, New Movie movies. So it's different.
Thank God.
But
It's
also
different. It's
similar.
kind of like doing its own thing. The other 2 movies, and we will have a preview show, guys, the last week of the year.
Phew.
Will we?
Yeah, don't worry.
It's been a while.
We're going to have a mailbag as well, right?
A mailbag as well.
Yeah.
I don't actually don't know if
this
this.
the time.
I don't think this is actually winter themed. The Dog Lover's Guide to Dating is the first movie
it a
of
winter
the year.
dog?
So the January slate is the Dog Lover's Guide to Dating and 3 Wedding Veil movies.
And then they close it out with Glacier Park Romance, which does sound winter.
Sounds wintry.
That sounds winter.
It could be a climate change thing, though, too. So,
could be a real downer for 2 hours. This glacier used to be bigger.
I'd love to fall in love with you,
This
but
park is all water now. It used to be frozen.
what's the point of any of this?
That's right.
Because it's too late.
How about we set an engagement for 2031
Just
if we're
gotta-
still here?
See what happens. That's exactly right. Guys, we care deeply about our
We do
globe.
care about the climate very much.
oh, it doesn't look like it.
Yeah. And then we
All
have
the
a
trash we create around here.
and then we have a new TV show coming out.
Yeah, we
the Way Home.
Mm-hmm.
The Way Home, which will be covered here on Deck the Hallmark as well. Jax will be back weekly with When Calls the Heart. A lot of people were concerned. Are they going to finish season 8? Yep.
Yeah, we will.
We took a break in between episodes 10 and 11 of season 8 for about 3 months, and we come back for it.
Hiatus. Don't
Close
worry.
out
That's right.
the season
yeah,
strong.
with 2 episodes to find out who Elizabeth picks.
Yeah,
Pins and needles, I tell you.
yeah.
Pins and needles.
Guys, let me ask you this: do you want to talk about a little movie that I like to call? Wait until I get it pulled up. My Big Fat Family Christmas.
I would love to, Bran.
My big fat family Christmas. there's cookies and good times. Everybody's happy and I think I'm gonna rhyme. My big fat family Christmas. Drinking the eggnog. Having fun with family until I'm not.
Wow.
Thank you.
Good. That was really good.
Thank you.
Better
Thank
than
you.
I thought it would be, actually.
Well, okay. Originally aired on December 2nd, 2022, and it went a little something like this. Meet Liv. She is an Instagram photographer that takes cool pictures of her apartment and of the city of San...
Never herself.
No.
Never herself.
No.
Never.
The city of San Francisco.
I left my heart In
San Francisco. I don't know if you know this about rice-a-roni. It's a San Francisco treat.
I did not.
Joe Montana, quarterback for the San Francisco 49ers.
Exactly right. Her parents go out.
Why not Brand Francisco?
Either one works.
Brand Francisco.
Have you guys heard about rice-a-roni? It's a Brand Francisco. That's too hard.
Because he can't say
That's
that.
why.
That's why we
It's a
figured it
double
out.
R situation.
We figured it
Brand
out.
Fran, he can't do it.
So her parents go all out for Christmas. They throw a huge party.
It's a breakfast for free.
That's exactly right. They throw a huge party, a party that Jack Wagner, he says it, a Changtastic Christmas.
He does
Jack
say it.
Wagner
That's
says
what
it.
he says.
And it drives her nuts. Every year they throw this crazy party. This is going to be the 25th anniversary of this. Her mom wants her to bring a date because it's the season of love. I guess it is. Liv also works at the San Francisco Chronicle. Sees a hunky new guy named Henry. She immediately takes a picture of him, and wouldn't you know it, he thinks that's weird. She's with her brother later, and they see Henry on the street, Henrik on the 9, and he's look. Henrik?
How's it going?
Hey, buddy. How are you, man?
Doing great. I'm just Henrik over here on the 9.
Can I ask you something?
You can always ask me anything, Brando.
Top 9 favorite Christmas treats. Go.
Do I have my background players? Oh, there it is. That feels much better now. It's Henrik on the 9s with my 9 favorite Christmas treats.
Hit it.
Number 9 is easy. The Reese Cup trees. The Reese Cups, but they're shaped like trees.
Trees.
Number 8's next up in the castle. Gonna have me
Castle.
Hershey Kisses. But the ones with peppermint, y'all don't give me those regulars. No, I want the chocolate peppermint.
Skip to 1.
Skipping all the way to 1. It's a candy cane. Henry Cow.
Candy cane.
I feel like the people missed out on.
We have time restraints. I know it might be surprising to find out.
The music does run out, huh?
The music runs out. We have time
Page
restraints.
numbers. Get the full list.
So she's with her brother later, and she sees Henry, and he's looking for a Christmas story for the Chronicle. And Andrew's about to tell him about the parents' big Christmas party tradition, but she stops him. No one at work knows that she's actually a Chang. To everyone, she's Liv Rose, and she wants to keep it that way.
I live Moss. Does that count for anything?
Yes, it does.
Camera's on us, Brand.
Yep. Bonus points.
So Andrew ends up telling Henry about the Chang party, and his boss loves it. He wants to bring Liv into the story, and she's like, I don't think it's a good idea. But Jack Wagner is like, well, if you don't want a cover story, that's fine. And she's like, I do want a cover story. Let's do it. She calls Andrew later, and he's like, I didn't do anything. I don't know what you're talking about. And someone must have else told him. Liv shows Henry around town.
Must have else told him.
Liv shows Henry around, and they get some of the bubble
tea.
bubble tea.
Bob.
Is it just bubble? Is it bubba?
It's
Boba, isn't it?
it's boba tea.
Boba?
Yeah.
Yes,
It's
B-O-B-A, boba.
Shorter than you're making it.
What are you doing?
I thought I didn't know if it was bubble or bobo.
It's not either of those.
Maybe in Brand Francisco you get those treats?
Yeah, guys. Yeah, guys.
It's a good episode so far.
So he wants to visit the boba.
Yes.
Yeah, great. That's what I have written down. So he wants to visit the Chang family. Liv's not into this idea because then she would know. So they do a whole bit, and he very quickly finds out who she actually is. He meets the family, and there's that. So before they meet the family, they end up doing basically a tour of San Francisco.
Yep.
We thanks to the San Francisco Tourism Committee for a wonderful tour of the city. Things I didn't know, such as the Christmas lights on what I believe is the Golden Gate Bridge.
I didn't know that either.
Fantastic.
Yeah.
It is.
Wonderful,
City's
wonderful
really
city. I've never been.
city's really lit up. I left my heart there. Did we ever do it? No. So they want to be basically a part of the party to try to help. She wants to learn as much about the party and as much about the family as possible. So to do that, they make some dumplings together. They are almost kissing under the mistletoe. All of that wonderful stuff. So one of the things they do every year is they do donations, okay? And the family sends them to go get the donations. They're taking the trolley back, and the bag of money flies off the trolley.
As you do.
Due to some shenanigans. Due to some shenanigans.
Some shenanigans, yes.
So basically the family is like, how could you? They don't tell her that she can't come to the party, but they're basically like, you shouldn't come to the party. You're a disappointment. And so Liv is having a tough time with this. After some encouragement about this and family and also some past stuff that she's working through, she decides to go on social media and admit that she is indeed a Chang. And so people on the chat, they're loving it, except for the one person that says, this live? After this, it's time for the party and everything's looking good. And the mom is getting ready to tell that they lost the donations when Liv pipes up and she says, it was me. I did it. I lost the money. And then another girl comes out of nowhere with the bag of money.
The bag of money.
And she says, hey, I saw this fly off the trolley. I tried to find you, couldn't find you. Thanks to your live, I now knew where it was. And then Liz sings a wonderful rendition of Oh Holy Night. We were all here for it. Henry loves it. They dance together. They kiss together. 1 year later, they're together. It makes the front page of the paper. They're kissing some more. They're all together. And we're better for it. And that, my friends, was my big fat family Christmas.
We did it.
I don't think the movie ended with 1 year later. I think it's the next movie. Sometimes I
It
get
was
my
the
wires
next
crossed.
movie 1 year later.
Did this movie end with a year?
We've not
a year?
watched a fabled.
No, well, of course we haven't.
No.
Right?
I don't remember now. Now,
now
of it.
I'm-
That's tricky.
He's got his pin out.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's
Oh,
a framed article,
This
I
is
think, at the
very
end of
important.
it.
but that's from now.
That's
like
that
they
article.
published the article. Yeah, not a
Okay.
year later.
Yeah.
Sorry, everybody, I
it.
retract it. But they are together. They are together.
You have to run that by the retractions department.
Yeah, guys, I actually have some thoughts on this.
Yep.
So-
Yep.
2 years ago, you guys did something,
Okay, what do we do?
not allowing it anymore.
What is it?
You know what you did.
I don't trace.
Did.
This is like I found out earlier this year that apparently you had a thing for me and didn't say
Yes.
anything.
Yes.
And that was weird.
Yeah.
Trace.
Yes.
You're supposed to be HR
I
and
told
everything.
HR about it.
You can't just say we did something 2 years ago and not tell us what it was.
You sang the Star Spangled Banner.
Did we?
You messed it up.
Yeah.
What?
The 4th of July card. Remember the video card?
Why do you keep moving your hand like it could go either way? What are you talking about?
Just
It's the you know
What
what
I'm-
you did signal.
what I'm trying to say is it's been retracted. No one's ever going to know.
Great. Good to know.
now they
But
do
I don't
know.
think anybody did know. That wasn't something we released, and now you've put
Now
it out
you've-
there.
yeah.
Exactly. That's the problem.
Retracted.
Oh, that was easy.
Great.
Great.
Good.
Let's take a quick break. We'll come back. We'll break this movie down here on
Deck
the
the
Hallmark.
Hallmark.
It was so good. Hey, Randall called and he wants his goggles back.
Okay, good.
So
We need to do this on air
You've been bringing those in every day
every
for
day.
months.
Yeah.
You
I go
keep
swimming
talking
in
about-
the pool, the office pool.
right, you keep talking about it, and
They're
I just,
polarized, man.
we're back. Oh, my bad. Hi, everybody. Welcome back to Deck the Hallmark. We're talking about my big fat crazy Christmas. Is that it? My big
Family
fat
in there
family
somewhere.
Christmas.
It's just a big fat family
A
Christmas.
big, not the a big
mine.
fat mini.
It's on
Yes.
mine?
No,
I
it's
thought it was
a
mine.
big fat family Christmas.
Is
Pretty
it true?
I thought it was
okay.
mine.
Either way, let's
almost-
talk about it.
IMDb could be lying.
What about Letterboxd?
Maybe even Letterboxd.
Brian, let's start with you. Let's start with our hot take, and let's hear what you think about this movie. What is a hot take? And I just want to give a shout out to the hottest taker. I love that we have this relationship going on. The reviewer on Apple Podcasts that continues to update their review with fun facts about Brian. First of all, thank you for continuing to listen. We do love that. But second of all, they said that you were right about your hot take about zucchini bread.
Yeah.
So it sounds like, guys, it sounds like there is some... We're restoring things here. You guys are becoming friends.
Yeah, we're repairing or creating.
This is a reminder that we're more alike than we are different.
Thank you for that.
It's really good.
Thanks.
Good stuff.
Brian?
Yep. So, even though I don't fully know the title of this movie, have we confirmed it?
A Big Fat Family
A Big.
Christmas.
Okay, so it's A Big. I thought it was My Big. So, this one, can I say this? Schwing. Is that allowed? Because I just said it. That's a Wayne's World.
That's a Wayne's World reference
in honor of Tia Carrera, who I knew I recognized.
Pretty sure it's Tia Carrera.
Carrera? It's not Carrera. Carrera? No, Carrera.
Okay.
All right,
Yeah,
Carrera.
Dan's
Tia
never
Carrera.
wrong.
We'll go Tia Carrera. He was right about the title and the name. So that was great to see her again after all these years. Liv's little brother Eric, played by Ryan Ma, was great. I thought he was really funny, and the brother sister dynamic. I could probably just watch a whole movie of those two just bumping into each other and interacting, because their dynamic was really, really well done, and it felt really natural. This was like the theme of this movie was, I think, pretty bold to tackle, confronting Chinese American identity problems, which I didn't even get it until she spelled it out. Did
Correct.
you?
Yes,
you understand?
I did.
You did. Of course you did. Brand, did you know that's what she was struggling with throughout this?
Not to the extent that she lays it out, because I have not. That's not my story. But I understood once we see it. Yes.
When she explains that, I'm like, duh. Like, I felt like the dumbest person alive.
Schwing.
I was like, well, not for that situation.
Okay.
But so
Brand's never seen the movie.
No.
Don't worry.
Guys, I'm just trying to fit
Wait till we
in.
tell him afterwards. It's gonna be great.
Oh no!
Monkeys might fly out of his butt. It's gonna be unbelievable.
Guys, I'm just trying to fit in. Just trying to fit
thank
in.
you for the effort, though.
Wayne's World.
Party time.
Excellent.
Swing. No?
Closer.
Closer. Closer.
Okay.
So I wish that was more front and center. Once I realized that's what was going on, I'm like, that is a big deal to a lot of people, I'm sure. I wish that it was more from the beginning, that she spelled out, like, this is why I have this issue with this holiday. It's an identity thing, and let's deal with that and make it a bigger part of the story, because I'm sure some people related to it immediately, but for me, it went right over my head. But I think that's a really cool theme to include in a story like this. It's sort of middle of the pack for me for the movie overall, but I did have a good time with it. And the characters I thought were really cool, and definitely Schwing.
Schwing indeed.
Schwing indeed.
Yeah, I agree. I think it's going to be middle of the pack for me as well. I think the movie started off really strong for me, and it ended really strong for me. And in the middle there, I did, for a few moments, feel like I was watching a commercial for San Francisco, which not upset about as the brand. I put the brand in Brand Francisco.
You do.
I
Literally
didn't.
only you.
I didn't hate it, and I do want to go to that city now. So congratulations to this movie for accomplishing that. I enjoyed this family, and I think that they were really fun. I really liked both of the leads. The guy I'd never seen before, but his smile was brighter than a Christmas tree.
Wow.
So shout out to you, fella. And overall good time. But yeah, it's probably middle of the road. I wouldn't be offended if it was on again. But it's not going to be the one that I pull out to watch again and again from this crop of holiday movies. Dan?
Yeah, I appreciated this movie, I think, more than I liked it. I think that what it was going for, it succeeded with, which was an authentic portrayal of an Asian American family, and some of the struggles that our leading lady has to deal with in this movie are very specific to her time and place, which was awesome. It was very authentic. It was made with a lot of integrity. I was kind of bored in the middle of it because it did have a lot of just the party planning tropes that I didn't care about. Characters are good, actors are good, ending is really, really solid, and I appreciated it, but not going to be one of my favorites at the end of the day. So I just was kind of like, I really was excited about this movie, and instead I was just like, all right, passable, but not great.
Let's talk about the feels. Brian, any feels for you in this one?
Unfortunately, I had some non-Christmas feels from this, and it wasn't, with the exception of their house,
Schwing.
which was absolutely
Yes.
nailed that.
Please
Brad.
stop.
You're really. It was. Other than that, it didn't feel super Christmassy. Like putting a roasted chestnut stand on a pier.
Yeah,
Was
no.
not doing it for me. And Santa just on the street corner a couple times.
They saved it all for the house.
Yeah, which I mean, I'm glad if you're gonna do that, you pour it all into the house because the walking into the house so cool.
Oh, yeah.
Up that walkway,
Yeah.
you're going through the arch. That was so cool. That said, the aprons were on point in this movie. Super Christmassy aprons. Sweaters even were really, really nice. And the mom, this just made me laugh out loud a lot. The mom haggling over the fruit prices and the quality of the fruit felt like super authentic. Like
love that.
felt like so real.
So I just want to give a quick, of not too long ago, Brian, you were pushing for pop-up video for Hallmark movies with facts about things that you're seeing in the movie. And the more I've sat with that idea, the more that I like it. And here's what kind of cemented it for me. We get a wonderful history lesson on the San Francisco Chinatown and how that is the model for Chinatowns across the country. And they give this wonderful history lesson. And I was like, I got to the end of that scene and I was like, I have no idea if what he just said is true, but I loved it.
Yeah.
I love that fact. I love the tidbit. So more of those little tidbits. I don't really necessarily need it for a scene even. Like just, I'm watching a movie, they're walking through San Francisco Chinatown, pops up on the bottom of the screen. Here's a fun fact that you might not know. Brian, I think you might be onto
Could it
something.
be on a separate channel for those that don't
Yeah,
want it?
Hallmark drama.
Drama
Yes.
would be great for this.
Done and
Absolutely.
done.
Hallmark drama.
You get the
That's not
pop-up
about
video.
it because there's a fun fact.
I mean, come on, Hallmark, are you even
Sure
listening right
really
now?
interesting history lesson.
Yes.
That
But what would you do for movies like A Fabled Holiday? This movie's bad.
well, we'll get there
I
tomorrow.
think it depends on the movie where we would do this.
Yeah. Because this movie is heavy on San Francisco. I
Yeah.
could have used even more Christmas facts about
Definitely.
San Francisco.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
I don't know. I'm throwing it back out there, Brian, because I appreciate it. So that scene gave me feels.
Let's not let it leave the zeitgeist. Let's
Keep the
it in mix.
conversation,
Keep bringing
guys.
this up.
We
Yeah.
just
Yeah.
want to keep having the
I love it.
conversation.
Keep having the conversation.
Dan?
It's a great idea. You mentioned in your hot take, the cultural identity of our leading lady is really, like, her struggle is really, really good. And I thought it was really, like, great to see that portrayed on screen and kind of feeling like you're in a third culture, like the culture of your ancestry and the culture of your time and place where you live. And you kind of mix mesh those together and you get your own authentic culture. And so that was really great. And I think we're starting to take for granted, because Christmas at the Golden Dragon did a great job with this too.
Yeah.
Just what Hallmark movies looked like 3 years ago. And this would have never even crossed anyone's mind. So that made me happy.
Do we know who wrote this movie?
I know Jennifer Lau directed it, who did Sugar and Spice Holiday.
Okay, that's right. That's right.
Yes,
That's right.
I don't know if she wrote it as well, but she directed it, and Sugar and Spice Holiday was really good too.
The writing, like the storyline and the way that it was told, it felt like
Yes.
it was an authentic.
It really
viewpoint.
did.
So,
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah. And apparently I'm finding out which swing means, and now I'm just.
You did. You found it out. Did somebody in the chat help you out there,
Yeah.
Brandon?
Yeah.
Good.
But Brian, why would you? Why would you do that,
Because when
Brian?
because Tia Carrere is in the movie, it was a callback to her character in Wayne's World. That doesn't
Just an
help.
honest callback.
Yes.
Just an honest, clean callback to a time, from my youth.
Yeah.
That's all. And I'm sure lots of people can
Let's
relate.
head to a break, and we'll come back, and we'll break this movie even more down with the way what the Hallmark here on Deck the Hallmark on WTZR.
Schwing.
The Crayon.
Francisco.
Yeah, that would have been great.
And we're back.
back.
Hello, everybody. Welcome back
Are
to
you the host now?
I just felt it coming, so I was
Just gonna
jump on.
Welcome
gonna
back,
repeat everything
everybody.
Brand says.
We're talking
Talking about a big
a big fat family Christmas.
I like how he tried to dodge the name. There's no way around not saying the name.
I'm going to trip him up on, nope, I can't. Nothing I can do.
Let's do
this.
Let's go with the wait what, and let's go over to you, Brian, for the
with
first one. Dan's a moron. Brian?
The name thing, her boss has to know her last name. And he knows the
Yes.
name of the family is Chang. So why wouldn't he ask if she's related? I feel like that is less offensive than him saying Changtastic. If he just says, hey, look, I know there's a lot of Changs. Any chance this is a
I don't think
Chang?
you can do it.
You
I'm
don't think
not
you can
touching
say-
it. I have nothing
No.
to say.
You can't ask if hey, are you related to this Chang family? It's better for him to say Changtastic than to ask.
No,
if-
it's not better to do that either. But the reason why he did it is because it's called the Changtastic.
It was
Christmas
said a
Yes.
lot.
Yes.
Yes, it's Changtastic.
But
It's
at
said a lot.
that time, we didn't know that the
No.
name of the party was
Yeah.
Changtastic Christmas.
We did not.
So Jack Wagner saying that did take
Out
me,
on a limb,
take me
for
aback.
sure.
Yes.
Definitely.
But he did it. He went for it.
And so that was one that I just didn't, get. Once again, we have a Christmas Day cover story. Was it a Christmas Day cover story that they're still writing on Christmas Eve? This story, I assume, had to be a Christmas Day cover story. It's a
Yeah, I
Christmas.
believe so.
And so he's at the party finishing up the story, and then all of a sudden it's ready.
It's just posted.
So that
was weird.
This is just this
Yeah,
just
that's a
happened
mess.
in another movie, and here we go again. After he orders the pea milk bobas for them,
Yep.
they both stand in front of the register and just stand there. They don't move.
It was
like monsters.
just so infuriating.
I was getting anxious.
Yeah.
Like there's definitely got to be people getting who are
Move.
not ordering because they're there. And then after that, they took 3 sips and left the store and left the drinks there.
Yeah.
I hate to see that. The boat ride. She told them just wait until you see the city lit up. And it seemed like the middle of the afternoon. And then they get on this boat ride that could have been 3 hours because it did get dark while they were on the boat. And I think for me, that's a little bit too long of a boat ride. If you got to wait out the sun to go down.
Yeah.
So then they hand deliver all the invitations, which at first I thought that's ridiculous. But then I'm thinking if it's just a neighborhood thing, it might be a little more efficient to do that than to buy postage. And if it's a special event, people might like to have them handed. So I don't know that I should have scratched that one off because now that I say it out loud, it's kind of dumb. And the last one, they left work in the morning to go pick up the invitations with the money before they dropped them all off. Then they lost them.
They didn't lose the invitations. They
lost the
money.
They lost the money, and then they never went back to work all day. And they didn't talk about
Just
not going
walked
back.
around the city.
I
That's
wouldn't-
it.
yeah,
looking for that money.
I guess that's what you do. You lose a sack of money.
I have a few. You mentioned how long they just sat and waited for the boba tea. But what I was more bothered by is the 2 sips they took and then promptly leaving the boba
Yeah.
tea almost completely full. Like
Brutal.
it's not like it was empty. Like we didn't get to see them drink the whole thing. It was still very full.
Very full.
You chose a glass like that we could
Yes.
see the amount of liquid in it for once, which I appreciate that we saw the liquid. But now I'm just worried about the waste, and I don't like that at all. She posted pictures on her social media, fun things. I got it I don't know why this got me funny, but she posted a picture of a random guy with his dog. They're both wearing Santa's hats, and her caption for it was what Christmas is all about. A man, his dog, and then they're in Santa hats. That's what Christmas is all about.
Said it
If
for
that's
years.
not what Christmas is all about, I don't know what is. And you mentioned the money bag. There's a lot about that whole scene
It's
that
absurd.
I didn't love. Here's what I don't dislike. I don't dislike them doing the bit with the trolley, like having fun.
Yeah.
Like, hey, get out of your
Sure.
shop. I don't dislike them losing the money. I dislike that the only reason they did the thing with the trolley was so that she would kick the money bag out.
Stupid.
It was such a long way to get to where they needed to get to that it just was like, even for me, I was like, oh no, you did it that way. And then them walking up streets without trolley lines on it, like how would the money have gotten from where you're on the trolley line to some street without a trolley line? There's an easy way to do this.
Yeah, you follow
It's
the
just
cable.
follow
It
the
is
cable.
The ultimate what of this movie.
You just walk. You'd
San
walk the line.
Francisco is
You
known
Johnny Cash that
for
joint.
cable cars. The cable car gives you a line that the car is on. To search for your bag, walk the cable line.
Yeah.
That is easy. Do not map out a 10-block radius and just go willy-nilly everywhere.
Yeah. Well, the
That's
good
not how you
thing
do it.
about San Francisco too is it's not hilly.
That's right.
So
Yeah,
it's
yeah,
just
yeah,
like
yeah.
whatever.
Flat
Like
walk,
it's such a
yeah.
leisurely walking
Yeah.
town that I can see how they would have done it.
It's ridiculous.
Dan?
The dad in this movie this is real life. The dad in this movie is 47 years old. He's like 12 years older than the leading lady. Like, they're not even trying to make a legitimate age gap between these two individuals. It was unbelievable. Every time he's in the scene, he did a fine job, but they tried to make like his hair gray, and it's like, he's just too young. He's just too young to do this role. I couldn't believe that he was in the movie as a father of a 30-something-year-old.
Well, and that he could have had that gray hair, and they just thought that would be enough.
Yeah.
But like, he had such a young face,
Yes.
And a voice.
and a young voice. Like, he had just had a youngness, a youthfulness about him.
Yeah, you said that they saved all the Christmas for the Chang household. Not accurate. At the San Francisco Chronicle, it's decorated. So much so that in a hallway behind our two leads, there's a Christmas tree in the middle of a hall. Like, in the dead middle of a hall.
Like they made a rotary out of it.
Like, you can't, like a little traffic circle.
Yeah.
It's the weirdest thing in the world. We have another Hallmark photographer on our hands who that's her entire job, but she can't take good pictures. And she spends most of her time just taking a lot of close-ups of dude's face, which, is what it is. They're walking down the street and they get, the only word I have is accosted by carolers. I was under the impression that carolers go door to door and sing, or sing walking down the street. Can you imagine if you're walking down the street and carolers corner you into making you listen to them sing?
It's an assault, basically.
Yes.
You can defend yourself.
I would call someone. Like, that's got to be a crime. I have places to be. If I'm at home and you're caroling, I will gladly sit through it. If I'm walking from A to B and you...
Gladly?
Yeah,
Keyword.
sure.
Wow.
Absolutely. Come on by and carol. If I'm walking somewhere... I have
Want to give out
places
that
to
address,
be.
or?
No, absolutely not.
You won't?
1211 Lawrence Road,
Yeah.
Suite C.
If we get carolers here,
Dude, that would be something.
Forget about it.
Yeah, that would be something. And then lastly, the dad says to the dude who's doing the report,
Henry?
he says,
Henry?
maybe it's because we're her parents, but we always want everyone to know how amazing she is. That is exactly why. It's not maybe even. It's that's what a parent does. They want everyone to know how great their kid is. What do you mean maybe it's because we're parents? Do you think it's just out of the goodness of your heart? No, you're her parents. That's why that happens.
In his defense, he's a young parent.
He is. That's right. That's right. Yeah,
right.
he was born during the Reagan administration. Like, give him a break.
That's right. It's time for the What the Hallmark special. What could have been. Maybe up against some clarity. What should we still have, Brian?
I have a theme for my What the Hallmark.
Oh,
and
wow.
It is boundaries. And first, so Liv and Henry go to her parents' house for the interview, and she rings the doorbell and waits to be let in. And when I saw that, I'm like, that's odd. Is that them showing her having boundaries? Because the mom just barges into her place, shows up with whatever she wants. But later in the movie, Liv actually opens the door and walks in with Henry without ringing the doorbell. And so I was wondering, are they showing progression there? Or is this just nothing and I'm making something out of nothing, absolutely nothing? And then the whole family decorating at her house, just coming in without being asked to and bringing things that she just specifically does not want. Does that stop? Because if she's got a boyfriend, she's going to need a little bit of personal space.
Well, it didn't
and
stop
set
at the
some
end of the
boundaries.
movie.
No.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
I'm going to go with a no.
Yeah,
No,
that
it
seemed
does
to be
not.
how they
So,
did things.
That's just
That
family,
whole
baby.
boundaries
That's
thing need
just
to be-
family.
Feels like it could devolve into something messy.
So there is a church that she frequents throughout this movie. And there's a woman in the church. I don't know if she's like the pastor or what, but she's there every time we're there. And she's giving Liv like a pep talk, right, towards the end of this movie. And Liv asks her if she knows about this party. And she's like, I do know about this party. I've never been to the party, but I'm here and I could hear it. Right? She's like, I can hear,
Yep.
I can hear about this party. Later on in the movie, at the party, she's there.
She was?
She's
She
there.
got the invite.
So I just want to, I
didn't
want to
notice that.
know what happened on a lot of fronts. What is like, has she never been invited before? Did she see that conversation as an invite? Did she finally something free up on that? I want to know why she had never been, if she could hear the party and hear the joy it's bringing people. But then finally she comes.
Yeah.
I know it takes a long time.
Yeah.
And it's
Thanks
clearly
for-
a place that means a lot to her because she goes out of her way to show it to Henry. She goes back multiple times to do the candle and pray. So I don't know. She's a mystery to me, and why she's finally coming to this party.
like it.
So she's my what the Hallmark.
I like it. Mine is the social media app that she's using for Live Rose or whatever that is. When she goes live, the like count goes 100, 250, 500, 1,000, 2,500, 5,000.
600 minutes.
So in the same amount of time it took to get from 100 likes to 250 likes, it took that same amount of time to get from 2,500 to 5,000 likes. So is this a social media app that only gives you whole number counts?
Yes.
Is it? And clearly they're playing catch up here if it only took 2 seconds to get the last 2,500 of these likes. I don't know what app that is, but I would not trust the response. I wouldn't trust it.
Fair.
Mm-hmm.
Guys, we did it. We had a wonderful time as well. And guess what? We're just getting started.
Mm-hmm.
We're going to be back tomorrow with a fabled holiday. We'll see our thoughts on that one. Until then, may we be the first to wish you a Merry Christmas.
Deck the Hallmark is the That Sounds Fun podcast. It's produced by Tracy Noah's name. It's recorded live in, that Greenville, South Carolina. For more information on Deck the Hallmark, you can go to deckthehallmark.com.